I have a great story about one of the couples that I was working with who I love, but I will tease, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. My name, Eli Magids. I am a real estate advisor here in Charlotte, North Carolina, specializing in luxury homes. So I received a phone call about a year and a half ago from a gentleman saying that he's currently in Boston, originally from Bermuda, beautiful island of Bermuda, is looking for a place in Charlotte, North Carolina. Will be coming down here for work. His budget, 7 figures. Anything in Bermuda, apparently 3 bedrooms or so, about 3,000 square feet, or even smaller, is gonna go for at least 7 figures. So his budget, 7 figures at least. He's looking, him and his wife and his 15-year-old son are looking for a 3,000 square foot home. He loves to golf, so we need golf. We need water. The wife needs water. She's from Bermuda, she wants water. He likes the sound of water as well. That's a criteria. 3,000 square feet, 7-figure budget, golf course, water. 7-figure budget, or even a little higher, could go a long way here in Charlotte about a year and a half ago. I took him to a neighborhood, one of my favorite neighborhoods here in Charlotte, took him to a house. The house happened to be in their price range, had the golf course, but it was about 6,000 square feet. But it was in their price range. That was my first mistake. Problem being is now that I took them into a 6,000 square foot home, 3,000 square feet was not gonna cut it. Took them to another home in the same neighborhood, also a very large home, golf course. They weren't feeling it. They love to explore, they love to investigate. They're like the Christopher Columbuses of Bermuda. They were going through every nook and cranny of the Charlotte metro area. Originally, they wanted to be up near Lake Norman because they wanted the water. However, work was going to bring them down south, so we were limited to the south part of Charlotte. I got a phone call one day and they said, Eli, we found a piece of land. It was in a neighborhood, one of the most upscale neighborhoods here in Charlotte. It was a piece of property that had a house that had to be knocked down or completely retrofitted. But the piece of property was about 1.5 acres, prime, right on the golf course, water hole in back, and a stream, a gentle stream running down the side of the property. A perfect property. However, we've got this house that has to be knocked down or retrofitted, so the 7-figure budget is going higher. Before making an offer on the property, we wanted to get into the home. We got into the home. I called in a couple of the builders that I know here, some of the custom builders, some of the people who can retrofit homes, and we decided, not I, but they decided that it was going to be less expensive to actually knock the house down, rebuild from the bottom up to get them the house that they wanted. Went ahead and said, Eli, let's go ahead and get the lot. Either way, we're going to either knock down the house or we're going to retrofit it. Luckily for them, they had the means in which to do whatever they wanted to do with this gorgeous, gorgeous lot. So we went ahead and put in an offer. Now, the original offer was not accepted. We went back and forth, back and forth. I was actually in Iceland. This was during August of 2021. So we had the sun out. I was probably 10 o'clock at night, and I was talking back and forth with the other agent and with my client, going back and forth, and it was still sunny outside, or not sunny, but it was light. And I finally made an offer to the other agent. I brought it up to my client, and we made a deal while I was sitting in Iceland, according to plan. So I get back from Iceland and I start the due diligence process. They were doing some work in the neighborhood, and we had to find out about the water company, and there was an easement, and we had to find out what we can do to the house. Can we knock it down? Can we move it? What's going to be the architectural review process? It was an old neighborhood, so there wasn't much of a review process. Because it was facing the golf course, it had to be a certain way. Make a long story short, we closed on the lot, and that is the end of that part of the story. Now, my Explorer couple went out, and they went through the custom builders that I sent them. They found other custom builders. They got estimates and guesstimates about retrofitting. And the price was enormous. It was huge. They went through their custom builders, my custom builders, retrofitting, underfitting. We went through builders that could build on your own lot. The retrofitting didn't seem like it was financially feasible. Moving the house, we would have to knock down the house and kind of shift it a little bit to the right to get the full view of the golf course. That would incur bringing a whole bunch of dirt, retaining walls, because it was a basement home. It was a lot involved. They were going nuts. They'd been here more than a year already. They're living in an apartment. They just want some peace. They want a place to live. So what they did is they reached out to one of the builders I introduced them to and asked the builder if he wanted to buy the lot. They got into a contract for the builder to buy the lot. They called me and said, Eli, let's go find a house. We went from one neighborhood to another neighborhood to another neighborhood. They like this one. They're not sure about that one. Beautiful homes, but they weren't willing to pay the premium that everybody was asking just 3 months ago. My Explorer family found a house that they wanted to see in the same neighborhood that I took them to initially. Our first stop. They loved the house. The house is about 7,800 square feet. Needed some work. Now they were okay with doing some work. They weren't okay with building from the bottom up and picking out drawers and light bulbs and where you're gonna put this and where you're gonna put that, and 2 years of renovations and work and tons of money. They fell in love with this house. I made a lowball offer on the house because it needed work. I thought it was overpriced. Market has changed. I negotiated the deal on the plane going to New York from Charlotte to go visit my mom. We negotiated a deal. We got the house inspected. We knew there was repairs that needed to be done, but we just closed on the house. Close to a several $million-dollar home. But what a beautiful home. Once they fix it up, it's gonna be worth a tremendous amount of money, more than what we paid for it. It's got the pool, it's got the land, it's got the golf course, it's got the size, because I messed them up with the size, going from 3,000 to 7,000. Their son is going to have an entire basement for himself to do whatever he wants. They're gonna have a pool, they're gonna have a pool table, they're gonna have a theater room. It worked out epically. Only took a year and 3 months. So the moral of the story is, always buy the first house that Eli takes you to. That's the moral of the story. If you're looking for a luxury home here in Charlotte or anywhere in the Charlotte metro area, my contact info is down below. Thanks for watching, and until we see each other again next time.